Morning guys, sorry about that. Technical issues, my computer nearly went through the window. So I'm just having to set everything back up. I do apologise. I don't know what it is. For some reason, when I start my computer up, I always get issues and then I have to restart it. And then it's better, miles better. But it just needs that restart. It does my head in. Beep. It is red hot here today. And it's only 8:30. It's going to be a warm one. Doing again. Okay guys, we are on. We're on my Discord. We're on. Right guys, sorry about that. Bit of a technical issue. We normally start at 8 o'clock. Enough video to make test smooth streaming. I think I'm still on. Okay, right, we are on. So, yesterday's trade ideas, we had 2 wingback buys which didn't get activated, so we just deleted them. And it was these areas. We did have a potential sell stop on as well, but we didn't get activated, unfortunately. And this is the importance of deleting. So we said if the 2, so I believe we said if the 2 closes back in like this, we're going to delete our sell stop because we had a sell stop underneath, didn't we? Now, if you didn't delete your sell stop, you would have had this. Tap, activated, and took all the way back up. That's why it's so important to delete when you need to delete. Okay? So, 2 trade IDs got deleted. Unfortunately, we thought the daily could have popped down, and it's not ready to pop down as of yet. Okay, so we're going to do completely full top-down analysis again. And we do this every morning. This is how we trade. Top-down analysis every morning. I don't actually know if my YouTube's even on. It says it is. Okay, right, let's get into it because we wasted some time now. So, we know about the monthly. We've got 2 doji candles and this monthly can still do anything. So the monthly doesn't really tell us much. Then we've got the weekly candle. Now, the weekly range for me is this area. Okay, this is the weekly range we've got. Now, exactly the same as yesterday. The weekly hasn't fully filled the range. We haven't had a top wick to 3357. We haven't had that yet. Good morning, Andre.
Morning, mate.
Yeah, I've literally just got on, mate. I'm just starting a top-down analysis. And I'll share my
worries.
screen so you can see. Bloody technical issue. My computer nearly went out my window. Even though I haven't got a window, I would have created one.
You couldn't.
So yeah. So top down analysis, monthly doesn't tell us much, and now we've popped onto the weekly time frame. Now the weekly range we've got is this, between 3357 and 3204. Right? Now the weekly has still got a bit of range left to push if it wants to. And you can push to 3357. You have still got a bit of range. So yes, this weekly could flip. But I can't take buys above 3357 unless I get a weekly close in that range. And we haven't had that yet. Okay. I could potentially take buys up, thinking that this weekly could flip and close respecting, like so. Right. But it's such a small, well, I say small range. You've still got that to play with, and this is a weekly time frame. So you have got a bit of range to go to the upside, right? Now, yesterday, if you remember, we were talking about how we expecting we could see the weekly pull back and close small bearish, and that's why we had wingback buys on. But unfortunately, our wingback buys were sort of down in these levels, so we didn't get activated. But we had the right idea. We knew the weekly could pull back and give us a steep bottom wick. And that looks like what it's doing. Now, what day are we on today? Thursday we're on today. So we've got today and tomorrow. So this weekly still can do anything, I would say. It can still push down for a steeper bottom wick and it can flip to the upside. So we're in the same situation where the weekly can still do anything. So it doesn't really give us much to go off, okay? So we're going to have to go off the lower time frames. And what are we getting from the lower time frames? So we were expecting this daily to pop down to these levels. This is what we had. This is where our wingback areas were. It was like this, wasn't it? And we were expecting this daily to pop through, to tap, and then reject to come back up. Now, could that still happen? That's what we've got to look. So where the only times what price has done this before. So where are the other times where price is closed in and around 3,300? Well, you've got an area here. You've got maybe an area here. You've got an area here. I wouldn't probably go off any of these. So I'd probably say 3 areas we've got, right? So if we focus on them 3 areas and look what price has done. So you've got 2 areas where price is closed bullish. So that means we're probably going to have to rule out this area because we closed bullish. So all we're doing is copying what price has done in the past. So if we go off these 2 areas, what has price done? Well, one is carried on to the upside and one is carried on to the downside after a pullback. So that means we're 50-50, and this is where it goes to the weekly. The weekly can do anything. So at the moment, the next daily can do absolutely anything. So how can we grab trades then? Let me just turn this to black. So how could we grab trades? Well, so we're only focusing on this area and this area. Now, if we go off the first one, this first one closed bullish. And then where did we push and tap? So we tapped this level at 3347, and then we flipped to the downside on the daily. Now remember, we've got 2 days left of the weekly, right? 2 days left. So let's say, for example, this daily comes up, taps, and closes bullish again. We get a top wick. Have we then got enough in the tank to drive through? Can the weekly come down? Well, if we look, one daily candle, this one, comes all the way down. So that tells me that the weekly can come down and flip again to, come back down to the weekly target, which is this level. Okay, so it can happen off the daily. Now let's say, for example, we're going to go off this zone and we're going to put a wing back sell on because we've identified this zone here. Okay, we're coming up more for a steeper top wick on the weekly, which would make sense, which was what we would like really. Now, what if we tap it and reject and come down? We could get that. But what if we're wrong and we're actually on this one? Would this still play out? So if we look at price in this area, this one, so you don't get confused. What does price do? Well, we have a bullish close. We've had our bullish close. And then if you look at the next candle closes bearish, but rejects from our 3345 area. Yes, we still drive for the next candle, but if we've only got two zones to go off, and it's currently 50-50, one's going to go up and one's going to go down, right? But then you've identified an area where even if you go up and you're wrong, you still reject from that area. Could we not just sell from 3345 here? And if we are wrong and price wants to push up, we should still be able to get out, because what we will do is work out how much of a pullback we get here, and could we have that as maybe our take partial move to break even. Yes, we know price pushes back to this, but we'll have that for safety. So even if we're wrong and price is going to push up and the weekly is going to flip and break out to the upside, could we still flip? Could we still pull back from here even if we want to go? Well, price is telling us yes, it could. Okay, if we're going off them two areas, yes, we could. Okay, so what else do we need to look at to see if this plan would work? Well, have we broke a low prior? We have broke a low, so that means we have got liquidity to push past this if we want to. So that's a bit of a negative for it. Okay, what have we done? What else have we done? We also broke a low here. Okay, but then why didn't this carry on? Was this just a pullback? Okay, if you're into trend lines and all that good stuff, have we got a nice trend line coming? And if so, oh, that's a bit wrong, that one. There you go. Are we in this zone? Are we going to bounce, come up, tap, activate, and then start pushing down to create low lows? Is that what we're going to do? So I do like the look of this wing back sell. But also, if we look left, the daily can just drive through with one. But we're not on them zones, are we? This is on our way up. We're currently on our way down. Okay. So what can we do? We have got a few contradictions. So let's say, for example, we are looking at and we're happy for this wing back sell from here at 3345. It would have to get activated today. If it doesn't get activated today, we would just delete. Right? Where would our stops be? So what we need to do is identify the closest place where we realize that we're wrong. That's all we're doing in regards to stops. Where would our stops be? So we know the top of the weekly range is this. And the way I look at ranges are like walls, what protect you. So this, because this is weekly, this is like a 3-layer wall, right? So it's quite a strong wall because it's a weekly. Obviously a daily might be 2-layer wall. That's a wall, by the way, right? And
Good looking wall.
it's a good looking wall. And then the 4-hour, 3-hour, 2-hour might be like a 1-layer wall. Okay. And the higher the time frame, the stronger that zone is. So this could protect us. So could we just have our stops above the high? Now bear in mind, then we've got to work out and go, okay, well, what's the risk to reward? Is it worth it? Well, we would be looking to get in here. Our stops would be there. And our target would be 3204. So yeah, I think our risk to reward's pretty good on that one. Or do we look at smaller time frames? So if we're going off these two zones, one here and one here, we tap because that's where we think we are. Even if we went off this one, I mean this one's too high up, we probably can't go off that actually. This one doesn't play out. doesn't tap this zone. So I've got a little dot there. Right. Can't get it. Okay, so could we just have our stops just above the entry of them areas? Because if we push past this, you should reject from there, you should reject from there. There's quite a lot what rejects from here, to be fair. Got another rejection there. You already rejected here. This is where we had a wing back sell the other day, but we missed us by like 10 pips. And if we push above that, we're going to hit stops. But is that because we're driving up? Is that because we're driving up? Then we've got to work out, okay, well, what's the next line of defense? The next line of defense is the weekly, but you would probably have to be above this. That's another way to get out. Another way to get out. So then could we have a second entry? And this is how I identify my second entries. Let me get rid of all this because it's getting a bit confusing. So if we work out where the stops are going to be, let's say we use the weekly. If we push above that, we're just completely wrong and price is going to carry on pushing. Right? But if we have the stops there, could we have a second entry as a worst case on 3365 for a second entry? I mean, if we're on this one, we're wrong. But maybe if we're on this one, could play. I don't know whether I like that, to be fair. So yeah, so we've got to work a plan out. I reckon stops around 3352. If it pushes above that, I'm not really interested. We've got no bottom wick on the daily. Does the daily need a bottom wick? I would imagine. So if we push up with no bottom wick, I'll probably be interested in the 3345 for a wing back sell. Let me just quickly look on the weekly, because we know the weekly can drive through with one candle, because we've seen that in the past. So all these candles are just one, and it's up and down. So we know this weekly at any point really can just drive down. And the reason we know it can just drive down, because these have, but also we know the daily, it only takes one daily candle to come and reach all the way down to 3200. Could we get that today? Have we got any news today first?
Yeah, unemployment.
Employment claims. Okay, it's not too bad. Okay. So, yeah, does the weekly need a top wick? I think I'm pretty happy with that wing back sell, guys. Fucking trading views froze. So, if we're looking at a wing back sell on the daily around here, because we think the daily is going to push up, even if the daily wants to drive down, it tends to tap this before driving down, right? Unless we're on something like this is this, and then we're coming down to this, but this is on the upside and we're coming down, so I don't really like that area. So if we are expecting the daily to come up to that level, even if you want to drive down, unless it's going to do buzz and print new stuff, which we can't preempt, could we buy up? Potentially, yeah. In order to buy up, what would we want to see? Well, ideally, I would want to see this has got a bottom wick and this has got a bottom wick. So I would probably want to see a bottom wick before buys up, because at any point this daily, remember, we've got 14 hours left. This daily has still got enough time to come down, create a bottom wick, and still flip back to the upside if it wants to, and tap and come down if it wants to. Okay. So I would really like it. I would prefer bottom wick before taking buys up, but we can have a look at the smaller time frames. But at the moment, I'm thinking wing back sells from 3345. I'm just a bit cautious with stops. That would be maybe second entry stops. I don't think I saved it, did I? I saw a less risk, less probability. But if you really want to play it safe, even more safe, you could have a stops and around them levels. Okay. So yeah. Let's have a look at the 6 hour. So the 6 hours are, it's difficult now in order to take buys up, because in order to take buys up, what I would need to see on either the 1 or the 2 is some sort of structure being formed. Get it? That was doing my head in. Couldn't stop looking at it. A little dot. So what I would need, so what I mean by that, I'd need some sort of structure formed. We sort of create it here actually. Price come down, you then create some structure. You've now broke out to the upside. What we could do is, if we get a fake out back into this area, and we don't, and then we get a steep top wick, we could potentially sell just to here. Bit of an advantage. So we took 2 swoop entries yesterday on stream. The first trade was 22. Sorry, three swoop entries. First trade was 22 pips. Next one went to 15 pips, and the third one went to 18 pips. And it was sort of similar to this. We knew where the daily should have been going, so it was just a case of us testing. With the same lot size, I'll explain this as well because I'm not sure I explained it correctly yesterday. So let's say, for example, we had a wing back sell, a sell stop underneath this daily, and our stops were here, and our stop lot is a 1 lot. Say, for example, a 1 lot. We know we're expecting this daily to flip, but what we do is we look for areas as price pushing up. We look for areas of zones where price starts coming up and then creates structure and then breaks a low. And then what we can do, swoop entry, nice and tight, where stops are just above the high, nice and tight, but the same lot is what you'd use for here. So you might be risking 1% on this trade from here to here, but this is now like 0.1. And what you're saying to yourself is, I'm willing to lose, like $50 was one of them. Yeah, I'm willing to lose $50 to see if this is where the daily is going to reject from. I've got my original trade, and this is a swoop entry, and that's all you're doing. I'm willing to risk $50 to see if this is where the daily is going to reject from. This is how you get fantastic entries, or can get fantastic entries. Okay, so that's what we were doing yesterday. So in regards to gold now, could we, if we get a closure back below that, could we look at a top wick? 2 hasn't closed. There's no support there. It's Nishka Mushka. Because remember, in order for the buys up, I do think we need the bottom wick. So if we look left and see where this bottom wick can come to, turn this off. So if we're going off this area and this area, this bottom wick comes down to 3276. This bottom wick only comes down to 3303. So if we mark up these levels, could we look at a potential wing back buy with stops below this level and a potential second entry on? So the first one is because of this wing back buy, and this one is because of this. Stops should be safe. If stops get hit, then we're just wrong, because if we are correct and we are on this, prices never come straight through that area without rejecting. And that's all trading is. That's all Meraki is. Just probability. Probability. Would I take the wing back buy? I don't know whether I would take the wing back buy. Because if you think about it, the weeklies came down to give us a steep bottom wick. So if it comes down again, because the daily needs a bottom wick, I would imagine you're going to create a steeper bottom wick. You're not just going to come down to test it again. You're going to create a steeper bottom wick. So I'm just not sure I would take them wing back buys. But the areas what are marked up. The only thing I would take at the moment is this 3345. But we're going to see if we can grab something on a lower time frame in here. Okay, yeah. So what would we want to see then? So we created structure like we wanted. If the hourly closes back in, then what have we had? We've had a fake out, haven't we? This is a fake out. Then we've got to say, okay, have we grabbed liquidity? Well, did we break a high basically? Well, we did. Here's a high here, and this broke above it. So we've broke a high. So we've now got liquidity. How much liquidity have we got in order to push and break lows? Quite enough. We should be able to break below this if that's the direction. Then we've got to say, what reasons have we got to come down? Well, we've got a bit of a fair value gap there. It's only a little one. Bit of a fair value gap. We've also got candles with no bottom wicks. But also, the biggest reason is the dailies tend to have a bottom wick before driving up, don't they? So we've identified that. So we know the daily needs a bottom wick. Where's the daily? So the daily's here. Let's just quickly mark the daily. So let's say the daily needs a bottom wick, which is breaking this low, which now makes sense. So if we get a fake out, could we see price dropping down to come and break the low? Potentially, that then would be the daily creating a bottom wick. So that makes sense. But how would we get in on that? What would we want to do? Well, because this would be a range 1 fake out, I'm not sure we take it unless I get a top wick. I'd need a top wick. So if I get a top wick, tapping previous support, then we could get sell stops underneath for the flip to come down. Because what you could easily happen, if you get this fake out back into the area, what a lot of people thinking, what we've just came up with, oh, it's changing direction now. Changing direction. So prices broke below and price should be coming down to break the lows. But then gold does this a lot. It just absolutely rapes you. And then all of a sudden you get a close back in like that. And like, oh shit. And you just start coming up. Right? Where else do you see this pattern? Well, I'll tell you. But this one actually broke the lows, which was perfect. So you've got an area here. I'll tell you what, I'll do this. This is basically what we're seeing right now. That's exactly what we're seeing right now. Price is moving. And we're saying, okay, we've got a zone now. We've got a zone here. Where's the low? Well, the low on this one is here. Not as prominent, so that's the low. So if we get a fake out back into this area, what would we want to see? We want to see top wick, tap previous support, and then a flip. That's our advantage point, the low. And then look what happened. Price came down, broke the low. That's basically what we're looking to grab. Okay. But then look what happened. Gold, hour back up, and then starts creating another high. So it's similar to what we want to see here, but now we've got a prominent low, and it's also the daily support level. Sorry, the daily bottom wick area. So this would be our advantage point. We would have to go risk free here. We'd have to, because the next hour could easily just do what this one done. Close heavily bullish. So in 9 minutes, we might have a potential trade on. And the good thing about this is stops would only need to be the high, because if you think about it, if price comes up again without tapping the, we were just wrong. And that's what we've got to accept. We were just wrong. Okay? We were just wrong. So that's something we can look at. What else is that? Probably all I've really got, really. how could we grab buys? So in order to grab buys up, I would need to see something. I'd need to see this low broke, because that would be what? The daily. If we can do that and come down and break that low, then if I get a closure back above this, this should be on for buys. Because if you think about it, if price does that and then all of a sudden you get this, if price wanted to drive down and that was the direction of travel for the rest of the day, you wouldn't get this. Why would you come back up? You broke a high, yeah? You broke a high, you created structure, nice pullback, there's loads of reasons to come down. You would just come down from around these levels, I would imagine. So yeah, we could take buys from here, but our target would only be the wingback areas for me. I can't really buy above the purple line because that's the weekly support. I can't buy above that purple line until I get the weekly close above. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen in 7 minutes. All happy with gold? We're going to get these wingback sells on. It's up to you what you're going to do with stops. My stops are going to be up here 3373 with a potential second entry. Only because we've tapped this area a few times and rejected. So I'm thinking, do we need to break these levels now to then come down? So that's where my stops would be. If you want to be a bit more tighter, you can have stops at 3352. But our target's going to be like, our target is all the way down to 3204. That's what I'm looking at. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Who have we got?
Hey.
Hello, Mr. Toes. Oh, Dan's on. How are you doing, Dan?
I'm it.
My mate. My Thursday buddy.
Hey, just a quick question on probability, mate.
I'm married, mate. Sorry. What?
Saying just a quick question
Oh.
on probability.
Yeah, there's no chance for you, mate. I'm married.
No, what's the probability of you going to the beach and you speedos later?
Oh, mate. Well, listen. Emma's already getting the stuff ready for the beach because that's why I'm in a vest now. Believe it. I look like Raoul Mort. Okay. I've come fancy dressed as Raoul Mort, right? It's like it's red hot already. It's going to be 25 degrees, and the beach time and high tide's perfect. So we're going to go and spend all day on the beach after trading.
Yes, man, that's
Can't
the way.
I don't wear speedos, but I wear like Kevin Keegan shorts, proper tight.
Short.
Yeah. No, these are shorter than short shorts. Well, I've got to be careful if I do a brisk walk, especially in a light wind.
Because pop a bollock out.
Yeah. Chestnuts everywhere.
Roasting on an open beach.
Yeah. Chestnuts,
How you doing, Dan? Anyway, I haven't spoken to you for a while.
Aye, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Just plodding along as usual. Had a couple of days holiday to get dentistry work done, so
Oh, okay.
living off painkillers at the minute.
Oh, you've been to Turkey, like?
And aye, big bright white teeth. So
Have you?
aye,
Like glow in the dark? I'm gonna go.
looks stunning.
I'm gonna go to Turkey. I've been looking, mate. Get my teeth done.
For your teeth?
Yeah.
Got a hair implant as well.
The thing is, though, I don't like proper turkey teeth where it's like you can blatantly tell the turkey teeth.
Oh,
It just
Can't think of
puts me
anything
off.
worse.
It puts me off that person. Do you know
Looks
what I mean?
ridiculous.
That, and I'm gonna say it right because we're all thinking
plastic
it.
surgery.
No, if you're a fully grown adult, right, and I might piss a lot of people off, right? Not that many people watch the streams anyway, so I probably won't. But if you're a fully grown adult and you're wearing head to toe in Monterex, right?
Yeah, I agree.
My respect for you is just gone.
Yeah, you look like a bellend.
Like, I get the
in
kid
what?
in Monterex. Mate, it's like I spent 200 quid on Mason. He was gagging for Monterex. I got on a pair of shorts, tracky bottoms, 2 t-shirts, and a jacket. 200 quid.
What?
And it looks shit. It looks shit. The stuff looks shit. Like, I just don't get fashion anymore. I mean, look at me. I mean, not the best looking of people. But I don't give a shit. I just don't get it. Don't get it. It doesn't even make you run faster. You know, well, Andre will know. When you buy some certain trainers, Andre, isn't it true that sometimes the markings make you run faster? It is. It's true. Like Puma. Puma always makes me run faster because of the little stripe.
So when you get new trainers, do you run up and down the shop when you put them on?
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got to knees up to the chest.
Up to the chest.
You know.
You got to shout, "Hoi, hoi, hoi, hoi!" Why are you doing it as well? Have you seen them videos where it's like a prank where they ask for to get some trainers, they put them on, and then they proper sprint to the exit, and the staff chases them, and then they stop and just like, "Oh yeah, these are good." They're like, "These are good." Well, yeah. I've watched we binge watched Last of Us last night. Have you seen it?
Is it good?
Do you know
I
what?
haven't seen it. I've played the games.
Listen, it's really good, right? But I am going to say something a bit controversial, right? Which is not like me on this stream. But the story and everything's fantastic. It's filmed beautiful. But I would really like, and I'm not against people's sexuality, what they're interested in at all. I don't give a shit. You know, stick your dick in anything you want. I'm not bothered, right? Obviously, unless it's children, okay? But this, like, I would like to watch something but doesn't force having a relationship where it's girl on girl or boy on boy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, the Rings of Power was a letdown as well. Like, there was no reason for the Rings of Power for her to be a lesbian. The other girl who she was kissing had no other roles in the show. It was like one scene. Like, why does she need to be? Why that could have easily have been a man. Do you know what I mean? And The Last of Us was similar. So there was a fantastic storyline though, proper love storyline. It was great of two gays getting together, and that episode's fantastic. The way they filmed it and even the love story between them both, great. And that's fine. But then in the second season, there's a lesbian relationship. I just don't get it. You don't need to do it.
Yeah, it's like forced upon you.
Yeah, it's like I don't like. Yeah, now and again, like I'm just sick of watching movies where there's some sort of either lesbian or gay, and then you have to have all different types of skin colours, right? Where you're watching something like the Vikings or Saxons and that. There was no black people then. There was no black people in the country at that point. There was no black Saxons. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was no Chinese Saxon warriors. Like, it's just creating this like false history narrative, I think. But yeah, but other than that, mate, it was really good.
Is
There
it
was
that?
no Black Samurai though.
Black Samurai, yeah.
Well, it would have been. Japan's an island. They wouldn't have seen a black person for thousands of years.
Yeah.
He was a samurai.
He was the samurai.
It's ridiculous, but
Yasuke.
it's like they're meeting a quarter or something, isn't it?
Do you know what it is? That's what it feels like.
Relationships with monsters. God damn it. Just any relationships. I don't want to see anybody in a relationship when I'm watching a film or a series.
Who hurt you, Dan?
Stuff. Eh?
Who hurt you?
Everyone.
I don't want to say any fucking relationship.
Stop business off. That's not real. This would never happen. For me, it's the ones that, like, you've been separated, and it's like, it could be like zombie apocalypse or Viking raid or something like that, but you'll be separated, and then yous have both escaped and met up again, but yous are still running from whatever enemy it is, and you'll stop and you'll have like a a conversation and a snog and a kiss. What he's doing? Like, for me, that ruins a lot of it for us, because it's just like, get fucked. Just be like, we're running. Plenty of time for sexy time later when we're safe.
Unless you're the Spartans.
Just, what are you playing at?
Yeah.
But you know what the moral of the story of all this is, don't you?
What?
You just need to stop watching so much fucking telly.
Yeah.
True.
Stop watching shit. Go outside. The sun's blaring. What is doing?
Exactly.
I like a good series though.
Yeah, so do I. And I binge a whole load of shit, but plenty more
Just go-
things to do.
Just do what I do. Just watch, like, I watched Rocky 3 last night. Just watch all the stuff.
Rocky 3.
I watched Minority Report.
Minority
Who?
Report, that was a good one.
Minority
Oh,
Report.
That's good though.
Came on Netflix, so I was like, right, I'll watch that.
If you watch the older stuff, you're alright.
Yeah. Mannequin, remember Mannequin?
Yeah.
Love that movie. Absolutely love it. If I get a top wick here, guys, I'm going to get a cell stop on. But I need a top wick first. If this drives, it drives. It's not the main trade today, but I need a top wick.
I'm in a buy.
In a buy.
Yeah.
Go down. Yeah, there is potential buys because
From yesterday.
if we get another, if this hour closes back like this, we'd be looking at buys at that point because this was just a pullback. So it's just a case of waiting, but I can't take. I need a pullback, tap previous support. Even though we've had a fake and we don't need much of a pullback, that's what I would want to see because I am expecting price to come up to this level today, 3345. Where I'm going to sell from. So yeah, what we could do it round this 3302 off the daily because we've got two potential wing back buys, haven't we here? What we could do is watch on a smaller time frame, see how price is reacting. So for example, what we would want to see is we'd want to see price. Let's say we've got some zones here, close. We'd want to see price. I don't know, come down, maybe close into this one. And then price comes down, closes respecting, yeah, ideally with no bottom wick. And then the next one opens up with no this is the perfect wing back buy. So if you've got an area marked up, and let's say this has got a bottom wick, this has got a top wick, this has got a top wick, but this hasn't got a bottom wick and it's closed respecting, perfect sign. And especially if the next one opens up and pushes down without a top wick, how rare is it where you see two candles with no top wick at all and no bottom wick? It's pretty rare. It's pretty rare. So what you'll tend to find is this is pushing down, tap the wing back area, and then this will flip to close bullish, and then you're on your way to the fish and chip shop because you've made loads of money and you can buy the kids fish and chips. So that is like perfect. What? Sounded like
What, you've got no kids?
you'll have to just treat yourself. The fish and chips. And a beef cutlet. Morning,
I was just about to say, the kids didn't earn the trading. I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I was writing beef cutlet there in the chat for some weed. I was thinking about a beef cutlet.
What actually is a beef cutlet?
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah,
It's just a steak.
Nate on YouTube, he's just put good morning. So I was like, going to reply good morning, but I was writing beef cutlet instead.
send that instead. What?
Morning, beef cutlet. I hope Nate doesn't think you're calling him a beef cutlet.
Nah, never call Nate a beef cutlet. He's more of a pineapple fritter type of guy. You know, crispy on the outside, sweet on the inside. That's my name.
Sweet and soft on the inside.
Yeah.
It's more of a pineapple fritter.
I love a pineapple fritter. I always get a pineapple fritter.
From the Chinese.
Well, we had a Chinese last night, and there's no Chinese near us, so the only time we'll get one is if, and we'll only get it from the same place on the island, which is about 15, 20 minutes drive. So honestly, it's unreal. It's better than any
Hello?
Chinese I've ever had even in Hartlepool. It's better than all the Chinese there. I mean that they use I
Well,
used to
that's not
go.
hard.
Yeah,
I
no.
was just about to say.
Well, I used to go to a Chinese in Hartlepool, and it was called Mucky Mary's.
Mucky
Wookie
Mary.
Marys.
Mucky Mary's. That was the Chinese. They used to go around Mucky Mary's, get some gravy and chips or something.
Mucky Marys. I thought you said Wookie Marys.
No, Mucky
Like from
Mary's.
Star Wars. It's just like what it was Chinese.
Is that the one that backs on? Is that the one that backs onto the PDSA?
BDSA. This is in Merry Street. This is in Merry Street, now known as Curry Street. So Mucky Mary's, she was famous for her black gravy. The gravy was like pure tarmac black. You could literally plaster walls with it. It was that. It was that thick and black, but it was lovely. It was lovely.
I don't understand why people get the gravy from Chinese. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I know. Well, I
Curry
don't
sauce all the
anymore.
way.
I don't anymore, like.
Curry sauce. It's all curry sauce.
But the Chinese here is unreal. But the kebabs are dreadful. You can't get a
Well,
better kebab than the North East.
Thankfully, in Prada, like none of them back onto a PDSA, so.
Okay. Have we tapped this on?
Safe at least.
It's a form of recycling, really, when you think about it.
Wait, to be fair, if you're not like adopting, you've got to go somewhere.
Exactly, mate. Put them down and then straight out the back.
For deep fried crispy beef in Peking sauce.
Beef cutlets.
Beef cutlets. What's that, dog?
So I've not got this on yet, guys, right? I want to see what this 15 is going to do. Well, ideally this next 5. Because the reason I haven't got it on yet, if you look how this 5's done. So the previous 5's still respecting. Right? This could flip, but if it doesn't flip and closes bullish, we've got no bottom wick on this 5. What do you think the next 5 could potentially do? It could come down, activate our sell stop, and then flip to carry on up. So I want to see what this next 5 does. If this 5 closes bullish, we're going to wait. But if it closes bearish, this is the thing, we might have missed the move. So I need a bit of a higher push. I need this getting tapped at least 3-3-2-2. If it drives down, it's not my trade to take. So yeah, I would give anything though for a Palmo.
Oh,
Palmo
Yeah,
with
love a
garlic.
Palmo.
Manjaros in Middlesbrough. They're the
Yeah,
boys.
it is that. Weekly wick today. The weekly wick. I'm waiting for. We've got wingback sells, Nate, at 3-3-4-5. We reckon we could tap that and just absolutely bomb through the floor. That's what we reckon. Well, I say bomb through. It's 50-50 whether you're going to bomb through the floor or drive up. But even if you drive up, you should still reject to come down to 3-3-2-2 before driving up. So it's a bit of a tricky one at the moment. But hopefully we'll have something. A weekly one. Oh, we're flipping here. Is that 5 flipped? So look, the 5's closed bullish, right? And now imagine if we took this as, I mean, this could be the drive down and we miss it, right? If it's your trade to take it. But if we, let's say, for example, this 5, if we put our sell stops on now, our sell stops would probably be there unless we put it below the wick. And this 5's got no bottom wick. So that means the next 5 can easily come down, create a bottom wick for that, and then flip to the upside to come up. And that would activate you. So this is what I'm saying. I'm just going to wait for now. Just going to wait. I'm trying to see what's going to happen. Yep. Can't wait for the season to start.
Yes, me too.
It should be a good one. Derbies are back.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Aye. We've got a whole new team, us, man.
So have we. We've signed one player. So
I bet you don't need many though. You only need a couple of.
But wait, we need a handful. I think we need probably about 5 or 6 players
For the Champions League.
just to deal with the extra games for any sort of cup run and league run and the other cups. At least a little attempt at it. But I think if we haven't sent any of the new youth we've got out on loan, then they should be given a chance in the League Cup, just to have a punt at it.
We're just going to need 5 good subs for when we destroy us in the derby and later bring some good players on. Be fucked.
You can play our B team, mate.
That's it, exactly. The pace up front next season should be fucking rapid.
Yeah,
So...
Nate's just put on Forest. I mean, if Forest don't sign anyone, I'm worried for them. Do you know who else I'm worried for?
Wait, Forest have just lost another one, isn't it? White.
Yeah, well, Leeds were going for Longstaff, but you know who I'm really worried for? And I didn't at first, right? But now I am starting to worry. Yeah. So if I said, I've got mates who are Man U fans, and I don't mind Man U. Cunha, Mboma, and Gyökeres, if they could get them 3, that's it. They're sorted. They're laughing. Right? They'll do really good. They'll be top half next season, probably top 8, top 6 maybe. Right? But Mboma looks like it's getting less and less. Gyökeres has gone to Arsenal. Do you know who they're looking at? They're looking at Vardy, Callum Wilson, and who's the other guy from Everton? Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, for me, honestly, I'm gonna say it. They are now looking like a bottom half table, and I think if they don't sign anybody else, they could be fighting relegation next season. I really do.
I said that last season, mate. They were lucky that the 3 teams below them were terrible.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with that.
So I think
they kept sort of grinding out little results as well, though.
Do you know why though? Because of the name and the badge. That is it. Yeah. It is a power, you know. It is a power. It's a psychological power. That's what it is. Man U. They win games through psychological power because they're Man U. That is it. But the team, they're terrible. It was just shocking. Really bad. But Cameron, Madison and people like that though, so I was happy. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting season, I won't lie.
I'm really pleased with the business we've done.
Yeah.
Who have you signed?
Yeah, we've signed some of the best young players in Europe, and it's brilliant.
Yeah. Well, you got rid of Job's gone to Dortmund, hasn't he?
Yeah.
How much did you get for him?
Signed Siddiqui, we're on the way to signing Armand Laurent from Sassuolo, who's these are players that other clubs are after, actively.
Yeah.
Nice. Good recruitment.
Yeah,
really promising. It's promising. Aye.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even if we don't have a great season, these are players that will make a load of money on later on.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. If they're not sort of hitting the ground running, you can make decent money for them. I think it's as long as you can stay up, and I don't see any reason why. Really. So, like I say, you built enough to get ready. I think if you had come out sooner back into the Premier League, it might not have worked out, but I think it'll be all right this time. So
well, I think Sunderland, it's for me it's 50-50. It's whether these young lads are going to perform or not. You can't keep the same team because I think you'll get battered if you keep the same team. You have to invest. At the Premier League now, the gap between Championship and the Premier League is so big. It's so big. But yeah, I think it's all on these young lads really. How it goes. I want you to stay in though because to be honest, I missed the derbies. I do. I think like you would always look forward to them. And it's
I
weird.
think one thing.
You are.
I think one thing they're getting right though is a lot of these players have played in the French league, which is very physical. It's similar to the Premier League.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. That's statistically that's always been like the more successful players come from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just a really well run club at the minute, to be honest.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
It's when you've been where we were, you don't realise how different it is.
Okay. You're right, like. So if this 5 breaks the laws, right, like this, and this is, and the new 5 pulls back, what we might do is enter off the new 5, swoop entry, tight stops, and if the 5 closes back in, we would just literally delete. So it'd be very small loss. Be classed as break even technically. But what we're doing is we're basically saying, okay, we're willing to risk that amount in order to see if this 5's going to flip, and that's going to be the drive down. Yeah, what we call a swoop entry. Because this getting up to here could take all day, and can you hear that? Can you hear it?
What?
The beach calling me.
The
beach is going, Peter. And Raj, welcome mate, welcome buddy. The beach is going, Peter. Come and sit on me. Oh no, that's Emma. That's Emma.
Yeah, I say that sometimes.
Come and sit on me. I don't know if obviously Andre's busy or he's been talking, joining our conversations for ages, not realising he's on mute and he thinks we're ignoring him.
Just stalking you in the background, mate.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
We get it all the time, Gavin. Like when you talk, you're like, fuck, why no one listen to me? You realise you're on mute when you've been booting up. Well, yeah.
Just fantasizing of you in your speedos later.
On the beach, practicing my backstrokes.
Oh yes.
I'm a good backstroker.
Wishing I was your missus applying your sunscreen for you.
Oh, no, we don't have suns. We have baby oil. Andre, have you ever used baby oil with sunbathing?
I don't want to protect. I want to cook.
All you got to do is just roll from left to right constantly with your arms stick down your side like a sausage in a frying pan. And you just start hearing the sizzling.
Do you have a really big towel or?
Yeah, I've got a big towel, yeah. I've got a big Bob Marley towel.
Nice.
It's really busy though on Chemise. Loads of holiday makers. Which is nice because it gets the atmosphere up, I think. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does get the atmosphere up.
It just depends on the kind of people that's there. Some of them blare the fucking music all the time. Like,
we don't really get that though. We normally just get like the people you get here are sort of older or posh kids where mum and dad owns a second home and the kids have come, so posh like teenagers like 18 19 where mum and dad owns a second home and they're all on the beach, but even they're not that loud because the posh kids, you know.
I think that's worse.
Yeah, you do get some posh people here though. Ever been hanging around with Diddy? He's going to get off it, isn't he? Did he? He's going to get off with it.
He'll get someone else.
These days, all you need to do to get away with stuff is have some money.
Yeah. Shocking, isn't it?
Right.
So there's the bottom wick on the 5 tuck now. Right? So if we
So it's
did
just going to shoot up from here.
yeah. So if we did have this on, obviously we haven't broken any laws or nothing yet. If it is coming down just to take that bottom wick, can we see another push up?
Yes.
So this is the importance of it. And this week has been, do you know what? This week for sessions, educational wise, been unreal. In regards to discipline, waiting for our entries. It's been fantastic.
Sometimes they're your best weeks, aren't they, mate, where you haven't traded much.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. It's all analysing, isn't it? It's watching price action, so it gets people used to it if you're getting involved in it.
The difficult thing with me, I don't take many trades. Like you can watch other people and they'll take a trade every day, and I just don't.
I'm getting used to not
Mm,
feeling like I need to be in trading. A lot of it's just been one a week.
yeah. I think what you
So-
struggle with though, you don't feel like you've made any money that day, so you've brought no money in. But also because we live in a society where, especially like the way I was brought up, like labour, like my dad's a roofer. It's all about
Yeah.
what you can bring in that day. Do you know what I mean? I need to bring some money in that day.
And it's
Where-
all about grafting hard.
yeah,
It's
it
about
is.
doing like you're feeling like you're doing something physical and you're working for your money.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you're not really doing anything.
I was
That's
talking about
the-
this. I was talking about this with Sarah the other day, and it's when you get to the point where you actually know what you're doing, that's when it like becomes boring. Because you've done all the like late nights, the early mornings, you've done all the hard work really, and now it's just a case of waiting for it to the chance to put it into action. So
Yeah.
it's a good time really. It means you've done all your learning that you need to do really.
yeah,
Well, it's for me. I think it's better. Like I say, I don't mind if I'm not, making profit every day. Become funded. If
yeah,
I can
Yeah.
just replicate that, even if it means that I'm just having a look at the charts, I'm having a look at setups for a couple of hours, even if I'm not seeing anything, but I can
Yeah.
mark the charts up, and it might be because I a lot of the time I'm getting in too early, so I'm putting a trade on and I'm watching the trade play out, and either get us a little bit of profit, but then it would take us out, and
Yeah.
then go for like big profit. So I'm already out the trade at that point, but it's on for a week, and it might be a week later that it plays out for you.
Yeah.
Could be a couple of days. So even if you're not putting the trade on, it's that's where you face your losses. So if you are waiting a week and say I come on the trades here and I get Pete's input and other people's input, and I might stick a trade on a Thursday, or one of my other ones might be looking like it plays out, so I could put it on. But
Well,
yeah,
I've shown you
for me.
you don't need. I mean, look at this month. I don't know if you can see that, can you?
Yeah,
Oh
man.
yeah. So this is July alone. So look, this was one trade, believe it or not. So the top 3 was all one trade. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing, if you go off monthly, it's hard when you have a negative month though, knowing you've got to bring a live account back. It is hard that. But if you just go off monthly, yeah, that means I would have took 2 trades this month alone, right?
Yeah.
And that, like, let's be honest, when you're in a trade, you're really not relaxed in your life. I mean, look at May.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, June. I was off. I think I'd done like 3 days trading or something because of everything what was going on. We were up $650. May, obviously, we took a bit more, but we were up just shy of 5k in May. And then, I mean, we've hardly took any trades. My point is what I'm getting. And you don't need to. You don't need to do that. You don't need to take a trade every day. But it's because we have this mindset of, well, I haven't brought any money in today, so you feel like you need to take a trade every day. But
You
unfortunately,
did right,
you
mate,
don't.
because that's my mindset's changed from that now. I've in the last 2 weeks, I think I'm up about 4%. And I haven't took any losses because I've just been, I do the daily and the weekly time frames. That's it. So you don't have to worry about news as much. You don't.
Yeah.
Harder to get in. It's easier not to get in too early because you're seeing the big picture. And it's just, I'm not really fussed now because I know that I'm taking trades that are going to generate profit instead of a higher chance of a loss.
Yeah.
So the way you want to look at trading is it's just extra beer tokens.
Yeah.
Right? Because I struggled with this. I wanted it as my full-time income. Right? But when I started relying on it, you sort of have little panic attacks. When you take a loss, like, oh, I'm not bringing anything in here. So this is why I always say it's always good to have other streams of income. And then trading is an additional. If you can do trading full time, fantastic. But still, I mean, you'll get bored. I got bored, and I needed to do other stuff. But if you're not fully reliant, it's just sort of extra income, and then you know that you don't need to take a trade every day. You just take a trade when it comes to you. I'll wait weekly for bloody trades.
That's why I'm pleased for John because he seems a lot happier in his personal life. So I said to him, like, I reckon your trading will be much better now because you're not, as much as you can say you don't, you're not concentrating on the money.
Yeah.
Exactly right. I forgot to do a top down on oil, guys. We might have another entry on Monday. If this weekly can close above 67.75, we might look to enter again. To come up to 80.37, where we look to sell. Only down to 71.10 and to buy. That's what we're looking at. But we've been watching this. This is a swing trade. We've been watching these for months. We've been watching oil for months, and the profit I've took out of oil, it's been unreal. NAS is still all-time highs. I can't do anything with NAS until we get a pullback to 22,132. So I can't do anything at the moment unless we create some structure, which it looks like we've done now actually. The dailies. Dailies close respecting. So if I can get another break of the highs, and then we get a fake out back in, we could potentially look at sells at that point, especially if we close below this level. So that's when we could look back at NAS. So we'll see how the weekly goes. We've got news today, so news might affect it, but it doesn't normally affect it too much, really. Oh yeah, guys. I'm just waiting what gold's gonna do today. See the importance of waiting either. Look at price just messing about. So we've had a 30-minute close now. What's the 30 done? That's the 30. So it looks like the 30's closed. Nest play, which is good. Can we get a top wick? I'm not ready yet. I need this area to happen. Because if you had these sell stops on too early, right, you'd be activated now. And you'd be in drawdown. Close though, look at the 5. Oh, can this 5 flip? Oh my god.
I'm going to have to jump off, lads. I'm going to see a customer.
No worries, Pete.
Worries,
You have
bud.
a good day. Stay low,
Catch you
stay
later, mate.
fast. Stay late, stay
All
alive.
right. You too, man. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thursday trading days, Dan. Thursday trading days.
Thursday trading days. So, yes, I'm in profit,
Nice.
but we'll see. We'll see if it's going to change round or if we're going to get a little bit more out. See, I had it marked up as a zone of interest.
Zone
For
of
the-
interest.
The 3345. So that was going to be like probably take partials out.
3, 3, 4, 5. All right.
That's
yeah.
where you win that song.
Yeah.
For sells, I'm in a buy, so
Oh. Does it make you feel
it has
warm
now
and fuzzy?
become a wing back sell zone, so that might be a possible entry for a sell. And
Yeah. Where's your
It's come out
stops
of-
at?
my stops are under the daily from yesterday.
Ah. All right. Oh, you should be
So
safe if you're gonna put up.
This went on yesterday, so it's low lots. So,
Nice.
but if it does go up to wing back zone, that could be, well, it would be the majority of a demo challenge. So if I do end up coming out, it should be a decent bet. I think it's about 80 quid at the minute. So yeah, low lots.
Nice.
Big stops. 234. So yeah,
Nice, man.
nice.
I just don't know whether we could go from here. To be fair, back up. We could really mess about.
We've rejected from a like an OB that formed at the 4 hours. It just seems to be it's not driving away from it,
Yeah.
so it's gone through it and it's just hanging around. So it might. We'll see how it ends up. If it's bearish, then we could be looking to come down. But tis gold. Does what it wants.
Gold. Always
Mhm.
believe in your soul. You've got the power to hold. You're indestructible. Okay, so we've now tapped our zone. Yeah, the importance of waiting and being patient. We've now tapped this zone. Therefore, we could get a sell stop on underneath the hour if this does flip. However, the way it's going, it looks like we could be getting a fake out back to the upside on the hourly, but we're not sure. However, I am going to get a hourly sell stop underneath on this, and my stops. If price comes down now, it should be driving through to at least. That's the next one. At least to these levels. So I would have a risk-free take partial move to break even. And my stops would be the high of this hour. This is the thing. So you're going to have to work your stops out as price comes down and activates you if it's going to activate. I'm not saying it's going to activate us. So guys, this is the thing. I'm saying that if this hour does flip back to the downside, it's highly likely it's because it needs to break the lows. So could we break the low? So really, actually, this wouldn't be my tape partial. It would be this area. We'll break these lows. So yeah, stops would be wherever the top wick goes. So if the top wick stops here, then obviously your stops would just be the high of that 1 hour. That's what we'll be looking at. So I know that's hard because you can't work out your stops at the moment. If the hour closes back in, guys, we get a bottom wick, we might look at buys up because it looks like it could be a continuation up. which is not an issue because at the moment we could take buys or sells because we know the daily might need a bottom weight, but also we know the daily should be pushing up to the wing back area as well. So let us see.
Yes, it's going to be a watching day.
Yeah. Do you want to see my balance for this month? Oh, you can't see, can you?
Yeah.
I can't move it.
Can I see?
You're not on YouTube, are you?
Nah.
Well, this month we're up. Tell you what, I'll show the folks on
YouTube
YouTube.
get everything now. Can I believe it? Ditches like that.
What?
What?
What'd you say?
Are you showing YouTube and not showing me?
So, 50k account, we're up $5,705 this month, which is nice.
It works.
It
Strategy
works. It works.
And it's entirely up to you how you use it, isn't it? Really, if you overuse it, you're gonna face more losses.
Well, yeah. So I've got the point
Well,
where I just take every trade when it comes to me now. It's not
Yeah.
like So when I come on, I don't just what's the word? Force trade because I need the money.
Make a production and make a prediction and just go right.
Yeah.
I'm going for it.
I used to. So when I first sort of
Okay.
got funded and I started making some money, I used to set targets. I bought Emma a brand new
Yeah.
couch with one of my first payments because she was like, "I want this couch." I was like, "How much?" I think it was like $2.5 or something like that, nearly $3,000. I was like, "Right, that's my target." And I actually, believe it or not, I had the couch in front of me where she had the quote. I had it in front of me, and I bought her that couch. But I don't do that anymore. I don't set targets. I just take the trades as they come. And I risk each day, and it is what it is.
Well, that's goals and stuff like that where you want to be. But if you start setting yourself targets, then like I say, you're giving yourself reason to force things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, I'm wanting this to go up now.
Well, if we close bullish like this, it's highly likely you're coming to break the highs, and this is just a fake out to the downside to get in a lot of sellers, because you think a lot of sellers would have been activated here because they would have had their stops on too early, 100%.
Yeah.
So where would their stops be? Above here.
I'd say above this
At least.
level, yeah.
So you should, even if you close like this and you still want to drive down, you're probably still going to break the high. You're going to break the high again, it looks like. I'm just hoping this doesn't drive too much, and then I'm hoping the new candle doesn't just carry on. I hope it pulls back, and then I can get some buy stops on. But what's Nate put in the group? Just got $200 off the 30-minute grab. Nice. Off to work now. Have a good day, mate. Have a good day. You just got the 30-minute grab. Yeah, I mean, I said Nestle, but it's this range. Actually, no, this is quite.
Which grab the
Yeah, these are ranging in the 30. I think it's going off this grab here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The 30 is flying up.
Yeah.
Get amongst it.
Mr. Carmen, tits. Let me get in, you little bugger.
I got in on a buy stop at the on the daily yesterday evening. No, afternoon.
Yeah.
I had a holiday yesterday, but I had another dentist appointment. So
what are you getting done?
I just had like a extraction done, tooth out, and a filling on one.
800 quid.
It was 86 quid for the extraction and 130 for the.
Was it? I don't know. Mate, one thing about in Wales, you can't get dentists. Can't get them, man.
Well,
There's
this
not
is
many.
private,
There's not
so-
many on Anglesey, and you
Right.
just can't get in them. It's I'm thinking about going to Turkey. I'm genuinely thinking about going to Turkey. and getting it done.
Well. No.
A bit like
Don't
that.
do
You won't be able to see on the screen.
And they'll be huge as well.
Yeah.
It'll look like probably about 6 teeth. That's all
Well,
it'll
my
look
teeth
like.
are quite in anyway. The thing I've got is I've got a tooth behind another tooth. So when I was younger, right, true story this, went to the dentist and went to
He
get
was
a
just
tooth.
like, what?
Well, I went to get a tooth out, right, and the woman had like injected my mouth to numb it. Sat in the
Yeah.
waiting room, came back out, didn't even test if it was numb. She
Oh.
put and then straight away she put a slit down my gum. Started pulling me. I felt everything, everything. I felt the scrape of the teeth, the nerves snapping,
Yeah.
everything. I felt I was kicking and swearing, and ever since then, made me petrified of dentists. Even in the
Yeah.
army in Bosnia, I had a big, massive abscess. Right, I
I
looked like the elephant man. Was out here, and I refused to go to the dentist, and it got that bad. My boss, my platoon commander, he an officer, he had to knock on my door, and he booked an appointment for me, and he forced me to go to the dentist. He walked me down to the dentist, which a good leader should do that. But he walked me down to the dentist, and do you know what? That appointment was absolutely fine. They numbed me and everything. I didn't feel anything. And after that, I was like, oh, it's not too bad actually, is it? Just when you do it fucking correctly.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
not. So I'm not scared of dentists now anymore. I'll go. I just can't get
I'm a
one.
big boy now.
Yeah.
I'm a big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've had loads of teeth out in my life, and I've never been bad at the dentist.
Yeah.
Don't bring it at all. I don't like the drill that they
Yeah.
use that vibrates your jaw. I don't like that.
In your brain.
Yeah, but I'll do it. But this one on Friday, it was already like it was root canaled and filled,
Yeah.
so it had a filling and a cap on it, and that came out probably like last year, like beginning of last year. So, or even longer, possibly. But it's just been a platform for us to eat off. It wasn't causing any pain or anything like that, and
Yeah.
starting. So it was like sort of the touch wasn't massively swollen, but when she went to extract that, she injected us 9 times in the face.
Why? Because was
I
your
could
face
still feel
immune?
everything.
Yeah.
She was just like, "There's something wrong with your face. I'm just gonna put this in it." But she was just like, "This is the max I can give you." She was like, "I can't give you any more. You're either gonna have to like just deal with it, or I'm gonna have to leave it in." I was like, "Just fucking take it out." But I was just like, that was the worst pain I've ever had going to the dentist.
Really? So not too bad.
I've been on fucking pain medication for the last, since Friday.
Oh,
Since the anesthetic wore off, I've just had a constant fucking headache. And then I've had more work done yesterday. So, yes, fun.
Fun.
Fun,
This-
and at the cost of 200 quid.
Yeah. I know you give them money to hurt you. This hour is not helping me at all, guys. I don't think I'd take that.
It's looking good though.
It is looking good for you, but
If you're
yeah, I don't
you're
know
in a
about that.
buy,
I would need
it's not
I'd need a. What would I need? I just don't know whether I would take it. Because the 2 hours going to close, so that's going to probably need a steep bottom wick as well. The 3 hour, and it's the 4 hour. The 4 hour is about to close. So the 4 hour. What's the new 4 hour going to do? Where's this 4 hour closing? The 4 hour doesn't mean it's going to carry on driving. I mean, if you look at these, you've got to mind the range it's hitting here. If it closes respecting, yes, you could see it pop up to these levels, a 3-3, but it still might mean you need to come back down. So you could get a pop up, come back down, and then you decide to come up. This is what we're seeing with the daily. It might not happen in this session.
this week.
Well, it should happen today, but it might not happen till New York. So a bit of a shitter, really. I wanted to see if I can grab something, but I don't like how that hours close. I mean, look at it, because our advantage point would be the high, so it's taking away the advantage. It's a bit too close here. I need a nice bottom wick, really. Unless, let's see what the 30 is going to do. That fake out, look at that. All the people who've gone in the cells are going to be screaming now when they got in too early. Oh, God. Time me on. 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. I'm going to go make a brew, Dan. And then we'll see when this closes. And we'll see what we'll do from there.
Join you on that.
Roger that. I'll go make a brew, guys, if you're watching. Cup of tea. A cup of tea. do first, Dan?
What?
I'm gonna go and have a spot of fishing.
You going what?
Fishing. I'm gonna go and
Fishing.
fish off the rocks for an hour, and then I'm gonna go to the
Mm.
beach for the rest of the day. I've decided. Don't try and stop me. That's what I'm doing. I've decided.
I would never try and stop you. It sounds wonderful. Good for your mental health.
Very good. Very nice.
Casting into the ocean.
Yeah, I've got some new lures, but they're tiny. They're too light. Too light.
Too
I
light.
think.
I've done some fishing in Sweden.
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 It's having a tough time at the minute, Sweden, isn't it? It's like rape capital.
Normally it's in Sweden. Like sandy beaches and you can walk out.
Mm.
The what?
Sweden. It's like the rape nation of the world at the moment.
Jesus.
Yeah, I can see it's popping up to 3335. Are we going to reject from there though? If so, could we take a wing back from that?
It's 3336 is the H4. So could make sense at rejecting from there if it wants to.
I sort of just want price to keep pushing really, because there's no bottom wick on the daily, which is nice.
Yeah.
Because if you think about the overall picture, we want the weekly to flip, don't we, to come down to 3204. So if this daily can push up without creating that bottom wick, and then even if it closes bullish, the next daily flips to the downside, drives, creates that bottom wick for the daily. It's another reason to come down, but also carry on. But the only thing what's put me off with this wing back is we've broken lows now. So if we're gonna break this high, we're probably gonna pop up. So it stops. I'm debating what to do with stops. Whether the 3373 or whether they have some tight stops at 3352.
Right.
It's a tricky one, mate. It's a tricky one. I do like these buys up as well, though. It's a lovely it's a lovely typical fake out to the downside back into the zone. You know, we read it perfectly.
Yeah.
But how do you get in now? You're probably not going to get a bottom wick now. It's probably going to come and tap straight away to 3335, which you could reject from, but you might not. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put on my wingback sell. I'm going to forget the lower time frames now because I just can't get in at the moment, guys. So we are going to get these lower time frames. Forget that. I am looking at what did I say the daily is going to be? Yeah, this is the take partial move to break even area. Don't like it. We've already rejected from there once. So I'm not sure you're going to reject from there again. I think if anything, you're going to probably break it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what I'm doing. I'm putting a wing. I'm putting a wing back sell on. A wing back sell on with these stops. Okay. And my target is going to be 32 0.04. I'm not having these wing back buys on. Not doing these wing back buys. Not interested. Going from the weekly. That's what I've got going on, right? Now, whatever lot size this comes out at, it's my original. I'm also going to put... No, I'm not. You've got a second entry if you need it at... As a worst case. Got no bottom wick on the daily. We just got to hope we're going to reject from there. We don't have finesse play on the daily either. So I'm going to get this on, guys. Stop loss. Potential second entry. If you want, you can have this as a... stop loss. Less probability, which is optional. Less stop loss, less probability, but it's optional. If you want to have tighter stops, completely up to yourself. But that's what I've got going on. Okay, get this on now. 2, 5. Sell limit. So sell limit is going to be 3345.01, and stop loss will be 3373. I'll only be 1% risk in this as well. I'm a target. Take partial move to break even is 3325. You've got to take partial move to break even there, because it is an area where you can reject and just start driving up. So you've got to take.
Would you wait to see the close of the 4 hour and open up?
I would literally, as soon as I tap that down, I'd be, well, look, you're either going to tap it, you're going to come back, tap it, and drive through the floor. You shouldn't come back to break even, or you're going to tap it and then drive up. So you might as well just go risk free, take some partial, so you've got something. I don't know, maybe 25% or whatever you want to take. And then, but you've got to go risk free. If you get stopped, we were just wrong. 3204. So this needs to be 20. Uh, 3, 3, 4, 5, 3, 3. Three, 3, 7, 3. Trade ideas. Three. 345
3.
Stop loss is 3. 3373. 3373. TP1 break even is 3325.13, and TP2 is 3204. I will put 05 flat. Sell limit. Bang. Sell limit is on. You got potential second entry. That second entry is out. Why is that out? I don't think that second entry is going to work though, but it's a lot in regards to probability wise. Is the only way it rejects from here, it's when it's coming from the downside up, as in the trend. We reject here, we reject here. So it's just like a worst case fail safe. So we'll put it on anyway. Because it's very low risk on this one. So you'd be risking 1% on this one if you're risking 1%. 1% on here. This must be 0.25%. So it'll be the same lot as the first trade. Yeah. And then what you do is, if price comes up, activates a second trade, it comes back down, you close this trade at break even if you want to. You take partial move to break even on the second trade, and then you're risk free. You've got all the risk off the table. And Bob's your uncle, which he is my uncle. I have got an uncle Bob.
Bob.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob.
So 3, 6, 4, 9, 4. Stop loss is the same. Take partial move to break even is the entry of the first trade. 3, 3, 4, 5, 0, 0. TP2 is the same. Bang! Boom! Wick, whack, boom!
Straight to the moon.
Wick, whack, boom! 5, 2, 4. I am thinking about getting one of the magic keys.
All right.
4. Let's see if she's typing everything in. I think stop loss is 24 degrees meant to get to today.
Yeah, same up here. 24, 25, and then like 28, 29 tomorrow, Saturday.
Yeah. There's no wind as well, which like really doesn't help the situation.
It just cooks here.
But I can't complain. I love the sun, mate. I was sunbathing all day yesterday.
Nice. I was at work. No, I wasn't. I had a holiday
Had a holiday.
to play. For just because I had dentistry work done. So it's a holiday, didn't
Just a good sledgehammer, mate. No, I'm thinking about getting some crowns in over the top. So the file your teeth
Yeah.
down and then get crowns, but I need these teeth sorting out. I've got too many teeth. I'm like a fucking shark.
it?
Shark, mate.
Be alright if they just kept coming back in.
I know, yeah.
They don't.
Right, Dan. Well, I'm gonna love you and leave you, mate. For the guys watching on YouTube, we've got our targets. We've got 2 trade ideas on. If anything changes, I'll be putting in the trade ideas. We've got entry at 3344 around that level. Second entry 3364. And what we're expecting is we're trying to see if the daily just needs a steeper bottom wick, a top wick, and then is it going to carry on flipping to the downside? That's it. That's all we're looking at. But the weekly, yes, it could flip to the upside. So it is in a bit of an area where decision making. But what we've identified is it's literally 50-50 in regards to what price is going to do. But it's 100% that when you tap here, you tend to reject before driving up. Does that make sense? However, it's 100% out of 2. So it doesn't make it trade proof. Okay, all we know is we get rejection sort of around these levels. What you could do as well is if you do reject from these levels on a lower time frame, you could go risk free pretty quickly, if you want to do that. But yeah, I've got it on. I'm happy with the risk, so I've got 1% on this first one, which is $500 on this account, 50k account, $500, and then this second one is $160, so it's like 0.25% or something. I don't know, something like that. So I'm more than happy with the risk on these trades, but the rewards could be unreal. If we are going to get this drive down here, I'm not saying we're going to, but look at that. That's one daily candle, guys. One daily candle coming down. And that would make sense with the weekly filling the range. We've got 2 days left. It might not happen today, but it definitely could happen tomorrow. Okay, because you only need 1 day to drive down. So very, very interesting how this is going to play out. All right. I'm going to love yous and leave yous. I'll catch you later, y'all. Peace out, mofos. And
have a wonderful weekend.
You too. Oh yeah, you're off now. That's too. Back to work tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah. You too. Don't have a good one. See you next week.
Yeah.